you have it on like a horizontal view, or do you have it on like the everyone is being viewed at once?
It's on the vertical, and I can't see anyone right now.
Oh, Rishi, one second. I'm talking to Dongyu. Dongyu, is it horizontal in the way that you're displaying it to the stream, or is it like person to person?
Like you're ask sorry, I was checking other things. You're asking me if
So
um
when you check on stream, if you're doing like only to one speaker at a time, like when you're whatever you're broadcasting or recording, then the horizontal screen will be better for Rishi. But right now, if you have it on all participants, like where everyone is on one screen, then it doesn't matter.
yeah, I'm doing like all participants, but like on my Zoom I can see like six people, but on YouTube only the ones who like have their videos on like are shown. But yeah, I think it's all good. Um so Rishi brother, we can start. And this is kind of for Korean audience mostly. So you will say something and I will have to translate. And because I'm not like professional translator, maybe you can make it like short, not too long, and then I
Okay.
translate. Um brother, you shared like 2022's your video with me where you shared your path and um, how you got to where you are now. So
Mm.
could you say it in your words, maybe again, and maybe a little bit more update since 2022?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been on this journey for 35 plus years. Um, Started in 1990, and it started with me reading a book and realizing that the meat and dairy industry, they were raising cows and cattle in the rainforest, and they were doing that by cutting down the trees to make room for the cattle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really um, disturbed by that. And so I just, in my little small way, I thought, well, I'm going to stop eating meat. And so in 1990, I chose to stop to become a vegetarian. And one of the main reasons is the cows or the trees. We need the trees as humans on the planet because it's a symbiotic relationship between human and tree. No trees, no human. Um, the trees release oxygen, and the humans release carbon dioxide, which is food for the trees. So it's a wonderful relationship. And then also with the animals as well. That happened shortly after me being concerned about the animals. But it was the first um, reason was about the trees, and no trees means no humanity. So
Okay, let me translate like here.
okay.
All good?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Sorry.
No, no, we have the caption going on, so it's a good length. 저는 35년간 이 여정, 이 프라닉 리빙을 향한 여정, 에 진행 중이고요. 1990년에 시작되었습니다. 제가 책 하나를 보고 이게 시작이 되었는데, 음, 고기와 dairy, 유제품 산업이, 소들을 이제 열대우림에서 기르고, 가축이라고 불리죠. 가축이라고 불리는 동물들을 키우기 위해 나무를 벤다는 거를 그 책을 통해 알게 되고 되게 disturbed, 어, 마음이 불편했어요. 그래서 나의 작은 방식으로 어, 고기를 끊어야겠다고 90년도에 생각을 했고, 그래서 베지테리언, 비건은 아니고 채식주의자가 되었고, 그래서 처음에는 소들과 나무들이 주요한 이유였어요. 우리 인간이 이 행성에서 살려면 나무와 인간 간의 심바이오틱, 공생적인 관계이기 때문이죠. 나무가 없으면 사람도 없어요. 나무가 산소를 내뿜고 사람은 이산화탄소를 내뿜는데 그것이 다시 나무의 어, 음식이 되죠. 그래서 좋은 관계고 어, 음, 나무에 대한 마음으로 처음엔 시작되었습니다. Okay, brother, go on.
Wow, you have a great memory. um, and then 3 years later, I went vegan, and then in 19 so that was so from 1990 to 1999, I started out vegetarian, then I went vegan, and I was vegan until 1999, which I then went raw vegan, and I started experimenting with urine therapy and beginning to do many fasts and detoxing in 1999. Do you want to share that?
Okay. 그리고 3년 후에 이제 아까 베지테리언에서 저는 비건이 되었습니다. 그래서 90년도부터 99년도까지 처음에는 베지테리언으로 시작했고 비건이 되어서 99년도까지 비건이었습니다. 그리고 raw vegan 생채식을 하게 되었고 urine therapy라고 요요법이라고 하죠. 그 오줌을 마시는 거. 그리고 요요법과 많은 단식과 디톡스를 99년도에 시작하였습니다. 오케이.
All right. And then from there, in 2002, I kind of hit a wall with my health. I was like, okay, what's next? And I remember a friend had a book called Living on Light, and that was Jasmine Heen's book. So I called her and asked her if I could read it. I read it like in a few hours. I was so inspired. And then after that, that was near the end of November in 2002. And then December for that month, on December 8th, I remember because it's my sister's birthday, I did the 21-day conversion process of Jasmine Heen's. And I'm just assuming everyone knows what that might be. It's first 7 days dry, and then the next 7 days recalibration, and then the third 7 days was beginning to drink a little bit of fluid.
Could you
Yeah.
kind of elaborate on recalibration? What did it?
Sure. So on the fifth day, I really felt like my spirit or soul, my higher self, left my body, like disengaged with me and my auric field, and it got kind of recalibrated, meaning like a reset with certain beliefs. So it was a mental, emotional, and physical reset. And it actually felt like I was dying. It felt like I told myself, well, if I don't wake up in the morning, then so be it. But I was just I was all in, just wanting to explore the edge of human potential. And so, do you want to share that a little bit?
Yes. 아, 그래서 2002년도에 저는 제 건강과 관련해서 벽을 만날 느낌이었어요. 앞으로 이제 생차식하고 했는데 앞으로는 뭘 하게 될까? 그래서 친구가 Living on Light, 빛으로 사는 삶이라는 책을 가지고 있었던 게 기억이 나서 자스무인의 책이죠. 어제 아키야마상도 얘기했던. 어, 그래서 자스무인한테 전화해서 그거를 어, 친구한테 전화했다는 거 같죠? 전화해서 그 책을 읽게 되었고 몇 시간 만에 빠르게 읽어버렸어요. 되게 inspired, 고무적이었고 어, 2002년의 11월 말이었는데요. 어, 12월 8일에 그 시스터, 여동생 혹은 누나의 생일이어서 기억이 나는데 21일 전환 과정을 했다고 합니다. 예, 자스무인의 전환 과정이 유명한데요. 이걸 설명을 좀 하자면 처음 7일은 dry fasting, 건단식을 하고 다음 7일은 recalibration, 이걸 한국말로 뭐라 할까요? 약간 재조정? 이 새로운 상태에 조정하는 기간. 어, 그리고 나머지 7일은 약간의 액체를 마신다고 합니다. 그래서 recalibration, 그 재조정 기간에 대해서 얘기를 좀 하자면 5일 차에 나의 spirit or soul, 영혼, 혼이 higher self, 자아가 내 몸을 막 내 몸을 떠나서 나와 약간 분리되는 느낌을 받았어요. 어, 그리고 나의 오로라 필드가 재조정되었고, 어, mental, 마음의 측면, 감정적 측면, 그리고 신체적 측면의 리셋이었습니다. 그래서 내가 마치 죽는 것처럼 느껴졌어요. 그래서 내가 아침에 안 일어나면 뭐 그러라고 해. 이렇게 생각이 들었지만, 이 인간의 포텐셜, 가능성을 또 탐구하고 싶은 마음이 있었습니다. Um, so brother, you ended up on the exploring the edge of human potential part. So you could go
Yeah.
on.
Uh-huh. So I continued with I met a man actually. He my one of my roommates in the house that I was living in. He invited a person by the name of Dr. David Jubb over, and I met him, and he was the first, I guess, labeled breatharian I had ever met, and he was food free. I think he tasted from time to time because he was also a chef and a doctor. But he taught a lot about urine therapy. So he drank his urine every day. And, but I learned many things about, he had a very thorough, detailed detox protocol that uh, detoxed parasites and gallbladder flush and liver flush. And he was really probably the first one to really um, uh, get this information out there. And then since people have used uh, his protocol with the gallbladder and liver flushes and kind of made it their own and customized it to their own um, personality, I guess. Um, so you want to mention that about the urine therapy?
Yes. 그래서 Dr. 데이비드 접이라는 사람을 만났고 Breatharian, 호흡식가라고 할 수 있는 사람 중에 처음으로 제가 만난 사람이었습니다. 어, 뭐 그 셰프이자 닥터 의사여서 뭐 음식을 가끔 맛은 보기는 한 것 같아요. 이 닥터는. 이분이 요리법에 대해서 많이 가르쳐 주셨고, 본인의 그 오줌을 매일 마셨습니다. 근데 되게 디테일한 디톡스 프로토콜이 있었어요. 기생충과 gallbladder, 쓸개나 담낭이라고 하죠. 쓸개나 담낭 청소, 간 청소, 이렇게 되게 구체적인 디톡스 방법이 있었다고 합니다. 어, brother, you, I've heard people talk about liver flush here in Korea too, but like, could you elaborate on gallbladder flush? That's if you remember.
Yeah, sure. Now, it's very similar to a liver flush. It's just using more of the ingredients. Like the classic ingredients are olive oil and lemon juice, and then there's a few with David's protocol. There's a few supplements that are slightly different than the liver flush. David, his protocol was he had a lot of supplements that he was using, which were really, I feel, more thorough and more complete. His gallbladder and liver flush than any protocol I've seen since. Um, but yeah, it's basically it's real similar to the liver, but it's more of the ingredients.
음. 그래서 쓸개 청소가 디톡스가 간 청소랑 되게 비슷한데 올리브 오일이나 레몬 주스 같은 어, 그 툴들을 더 사용을 합니다. 그래서 데이비드 아까 말한 그 호흡식과 의사는 영양제, 보충제를 많이 사용을 하고 디톡스를 하기 위해서 되게 철저하고 완전한 프로토콜이 있다고 느낍니다. Then like Rishi, the gallbladder when it is highlighted, like uh, people say gallbladder gets affected or damaged by certain lifestyle, like there if you are focusing on it, is there a reason? Like what does it do to the human body and what makes it, what weakens it?
Well, what weakens it is a lifestyle of processed foods,
Mm,
many foods in packages, cooked food, which is depleted of living enzymes, and so certain lifestyles, unhealthy lifestyles, simply make the body work harder unnecessarily. Um, I would say it's kind of the analogy is of certain lifestyles is using gasoline, which leaves a pretty heavy carbon footprint, um, as well as cooked foods, which leave a heavy carbon footprint inside the body, residue. And so an electric car would not leave that residue of carbon uh, as much as a gasoline fueled vehicle.
mm,
Um, uh, but basically, the process is to really use these supplements and his protocol to scrub the internal intestinal walls um, as best as possible, keep them clear and empty. So on the days of the flushes, you can release a lot more of these stones.
그래서 이런 이제 쓸개든 간이든 손상시키는 것은 많은 사람들이 얘기하듯 가공식품입니다. 살아있는 효소가 들어있지 않은 음식들이죠. 어, 그래서 마치 이런 음식들을 먹으면 몸이 되게 비효율적으로 그리고 필요하지 않게 되게 많이 일하게 만드는데요. 비유를 하자면 어, 가솔린 차의 상태로 만드는 거예요. 그래서 가솔린 차는 음, carbon footprint, 뭐 탄소 발자국도 어, 무겁게 남기고 그래서 몸 안에 이런 마치 가솔린 차가 탄소 발자국을 남기듯이 무거운 이 잔유물, residue 이거를 남기는 게 어, 가공식품입니다. 어, 그래서 이 아까 말한 데이비드라는 분의 프로세스 방식은 이 내부 장기의 벽을 이렇게 문질러서 어, 그 안에 붙어 있는 것들, 잔여물들, 그리고 이런 담석, 막 돌, 이런 찌꺼기들을 최대한 빨리 내보내는 방식이라고 해요. 오케이.
Yeah, so it also includes enemas, and there's many parts of the gallbladder and liver flush. Um, but yeah, so I did it enough to where I was guiding people through the process. So I've gone through the process several times. And then I began doing more fruit and but I never did exclusively fruit. I never thought that that was the best way to go. So I always included dark leafy green juices with no sugar
This is
for the
after
minerals and yeah.
this is after your 2002 like Jasmine process you're talking about.
Yes, yes. But you know, one thing I should say about that is that after that process, I threw away, got rid of, or gave away all the supplements that I had stored. And at the time, superfoods, people didn't, I mean, that was a new term. So people didn't know about superfoods, but I was in Los Angeles and it's kind of a trend setting environment. And yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I I gave away or threw away all my supplements, but I still guided people. Like in fact, some of the people that I guided, I gave them my supplements because after that breatharian conversion process, I realized that um, no input is needed. And so that was quite a revelation for me. Um, it's just a marketing campaign type scheme. You want to share that piece?
음, yes. 그래서 아까 얘기하던 데이비드 그 의사의 방식에는 에네마 그 관장도 포함되고 음, 쓸개와 간 청소를 하는 많은 방식들이 있어요. 그래서 나는 이런 것들을 충분히 많이 경험을 해서 사람들을 가이드할 정도가 됐어요. 어, 그러고 나서 과일을 더 많이 먹게 됐는데 근데 완전 과일만 먹진 않았어요. 그게 최선이라고 생각하지 않았거든요. 그래서 약간의 어, 짙은 색 그 잎채소 주스를 어, 항상 포함을 했습니다. 케일 같은 거 말하는 것 같은데 이 짙은 색 잎채소. 음, 그래서 이제 제가 지금 말하는 게 공규 제가 이제 리씨 당신이 얘기하는 게 2002년 그 자스무인 프로세스 이후입니까? 라고 물어봤고, 어, 다시 리씨의 입장에서 얘기를 할게요. 어, 네, 그렇습니다. 그 프로세스 이후에 supplement, 보충제를 다 갖다 버렸어요. 어, 그 당시에는 뭐 슈퍼푸드 이런 말을 이제 막 사람들이 쓰기 시작했던 때였는데, 그때 이제 로스앤젤레스 LA에 있었어서 그게 막 트렌드가 되고 있었거든요. 어, 제가 가이드했던 몇몇 사람들에게는 이제 제가 만든 저의 이제 보충제를, 서플리멘트 영양제를 주기 시작했습니다. Um, so brother, would you elaborate on like your supplements? You made it like for when you said you guided people with your supplements. Could you elaborate on that? Yeah.
Yeah, well, the supplements were from the original protocol that I began following, David Chubb's. Many different, like this one called oxy magnesium, and of course spirulina, and because the gallbladder and liver flushes were designed to um, first clean the environment inside the body and inside the intestinal walls that have like this internal plaque over the years along the walls that need to be kind of scrubbed and cleared away. And then the flush happens, and then there's a refeeding. There's like a rejuvenation period at the end. But yeah, so share that, and then I'm waiting to share the more interesting part of it.
아, 오케이. 그래서 아까 이제 본인이 만든 그 서플리멘트 영양제 보충제가 어떤 건지 어 제가 리씨에게 물어봤고요. 리씨의 답은 그 보충제들은 아까 얘기한 데이비드 첩스라는 분의 프로토콜에 따른 거였어요. 옥시 마그네슘, 어, 베럴리나, 유진아 이런 애들이 한국 이름이 있나? 네,
그건 나도 잘 모르겠어.
뭐 옥시니까 산소일까요? 어쨌든 이런 이름들을 가진 것들이 있고, 어, 그래서 쓸개와 간 청소를 위해서 만들어진 이런 아이들이 있습니다. 그래서 몸 안에 환경을 청소하고 어, 내부 장벽 안도 청소를 하고 어, 이제 수년간 쌓인 내부의 플라크 이런 덩어리들, 숙변 이런 찌꺼기들을 다 청소를 하고 나면 이제 그 rejuvenation 다시 회복하고 젊어지고 에너지를 찾는 것이 어, 시작됩니다. 어, 오케이.
Yeah,
Before
two
before you
other
start, Rishi, just to clarify, so you were saying you threw away these protocols because you had already finished them, or you were just saying that you realized the cleaning on the flushes weren't necessary at all?
no, I either gave, well, I didn't throw away, I gave away to other people doing the gallbladder liver flush, the supplements, is what I gave away, or realized that I didn't personally need them anymore, regarding the protocol. And I was going to add two other things that were used a lot, and that is an enzyme supplement, living enzyme supplement, and also apple cider vinegar was another element. But I'm sure one can find a lot of what I'm sharing now online, I would think. But yeah, that's I had realized it after the Jasmine Breatharian conversion process, after I completed that, but I was still guiding others that maybe, that didn't want to go that far as a food-free, liquid-free existence.
그래서 유진이가 물어본 거는 유진아, like 답이 됐어?
어, 어.
어, 이제 아까 막 그 영양제, 보충제들 내다 버렸다고 했으니까 그 이유가 당신이 필요 없어서였나요? 이제 당신은 이제 그 플러시 내부 청소가 필요 없어서 다 나눠준 거였나요? 라고 물어봤고, 어, 그래서 리씨의 답은 쓸개 청소, 관 청소를 하고 있는 사람들에게 나눠줬어요. 어, 나는 그것들이 더 이상 필요가 없었기 때문이죠. 그리고 이제 효소 보충제를, 추가하려고 했어요. 살아있는 효소 보충제와, 어, 애플 사이다 식초를 추가하려고 했어요. 이런 것들은 온라인에서 많이 찾을 수 있다고 보고요. 어, 근데 이제 자스모인의 그 호흡식 프로세스 이후에, 내가 지금 사람들을 예전에 배웠던 방식으로 가이드 학원이 있는데, 이 사람들은 여기 이상으로는 나아가고 싶어 하지 않는구나. 내가 그런 사람들을 가이드하고 있구나라는 걸 깨달았습니다. 오케이.
Okay, so I started this breatharian conversion process on the 8th of December in 2002, and I actually took it until 2003 in March. So I did the dry the first 7 days, but I kept going. And so I did that for 3 months, maybe a few days longer, but I'll just say a 3 month period where I was dry. And wow, that was interesting. Like some of my colleagues at work were thinking I had a death wish because I got a little thinner and I was speaking in a much softer voice, and so that was interesting. So that was 3 months of dry, right after, like, from Jasmine's Breatharian process, which is 21 days. But after the 7th day, I kept going. So December, January, February, March. Yeah. So March, I think March 11th.
Brother, so the original protocol is 7-day dry and then recalibration and some liquid, but you didn't follow it and you just went like 3 months dry.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly translate that awesome experience.
Yeah, that's
그래서
I wanted to kind of move forward with that instead of kind of getting stuck with the details of the flushes. But it's fine. I'm flowing. All good.
2002년 12월에 아까 얘기한 그 자스무인의 프로토콜을 시작을 했고, 아까 얘기한 것처럼 원래는 21일짜리 프로세스인데, 뭐 처음에 건단식, 그 다음에 액체를 이용하고 이렇게 그 자스무인의 프로토콜이 있는데 그걸 따르지 않고 3개월 그냥 건단식을 쭉 했어요, 저는. 그래서 12월부터 1월, 2월, 3월까지 하게 되었고, 건단식, 물도, 음식도 아무것도 섭취하지 않는. 그래서 직장 동료들이 너 죽으려고 그러니? 막 이런 얘기도 했고, 약간 thinner, 어, 살이 빠지기도 했고, 어, 더 소프트한 부드러운 목소리가 되기도 했습니다. 음, okay. Actually, yesterday, this guy, Akiyama from Japan, has been living on prana like since 2008, and he also started with Jasmuheen.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It would be lovely to actually invite Jasmuheen to the festival too.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Um,
She's like the grandmother of this movement, of this exploration.
mhm. Okay, so you wanna like continue from that experience, 3 months dry?
Yeah. So uh now this all happened in Los Angeles. You know, I went through the Breatharian conversion process in Los Angeles, the first 21 days, but I did it, I was camping um like very close to the beach, actually in a place called Malibu. And and then after that, and after the 21 days and me just continuing with the dry experience, it was interesting. I mean, my body, it was so empty. Every word I said, it sounded like I was in this, like there was an echo, because my body felt like this instrument, this like um, empty instrument. And my chest area, my heart area was like the sounds were much louder. My own sounds from talking, and maybe that's why I started bringing down my voice in some of my colleagues, because I worked at a agency for other with other therapists, and yeah, I always thought like, oh, am I talking too loud? Because it was very acoustic, my body.
그래서 이 그 3개월의 경험이 LA 로스앤젤레스에서 일어났어요. 저는 캠핑하고 있었고 말리부라는 해변가 근처에서 캠핑을 하고 있었어요. 21일이 지나고 계속 건단식을 하고 있는 그 경험이 내 몸이 정말 비어 있는 느낌? 그래서 내가 말하는 모든 단어가 마치 에코 울리는 것처럼 느껴지고 내 몸이 이런 인스트루먼트 도구, 인스트루먼트 악기처럼 느껴졌어요. 마치 비어 있는 공명하는 악기처럼 느껴졌다라는 말인 것 같아요. 그래서 나의 이 가슴 부분, heart area, 어,
Tuning fork.
sorry?
Like my body became like this tuning fork.
음, 그래서 어, 내 가슴 부위에서 소리가 더 크게 울리는 경험을 했습니다. 그래서 다른 사람들과 말할 때 내 목소리를 막 줄이곤 했어요. 왜냐하면 어, 다른 테라피스트들과 함께하는 다른 치유자들과 함께하는 에이전시에서 일을 했는데 내 목소리가 너무 울리고 큰가? 이런 생각 때문에요. 너무 그 목소리가 되게 어쿠스틱하게 들렸다. 이런 경험을 공유를 합니다. Okay, brother.
So I have to confess, I I was in a kitchen and I had made different raw vegan things for other people during this 3 month dry phase. And like this was a pumpkin seed cheese where the pumpkin seeds were sprouted. And I don't know, I mean, I completely an old habit. And so an old habit happened. And And so I was done making this pumpkin seed cheese for a friend of mine, and there wasn't much on the spoon, but I licked the spoon, and I was like, "Oh my God, what did I just do?" And I spit most of it out. I think a few particles I did swallow. But after that, I was really concerned, and I thought, "Oh, I got to drink some water now just to, flush it out." And and so that's how I broke the 3 month dry. Really
아, 예.
unconscious.
그래서 제 경험을 고백을 하자면 제가 주방에 있었는데요. 어, 사람들이 3개월 건단식을 하면서도 어, 그 생채식 음식들을 사람들한테 만들어주곤 했거든요. 호박씨로 만든 치즈? 어, 저랑 이제 리씨가 통화할 때 raw vegan gourmet라고 얘기하는데 생채식으로 막 엄청 삐까뻔쩍하게 만들어서 먹는 사람들이 있어요. 그 사람들을 위해 요리를 해주곤 했어가지고 호박씨에 싹을 틔어서 그런 비건 치즈 이런 거겠죠? 그런 걸 만들기도 하고, 그래서 그런 걸 하면서 이 숟가락을 내가 핥았어요. 그래서, 오 마이 갓, 내가 지금 뭐 한 거지? 아, 그거를 다 뱉었는데, 음, 그러고 나서 그걸 핥고 나서 내가 되게 걱정이 돼서, 나 이거를 지금 먹은 거, 이제 몸에 넣은 거를 빼내기 위해 물을 좀 마셔야겠어. 어, 그게 이제 3개월 동안 건단식을 끝낸 계기입니다. So brother, during that 3 months dry period, you were not you were not feeling dry at all. And did you have cravings?
Surprisingly, I didn't. What was more kind of uncomfortable was what I mentioned earlier about my body being like this, so acoustic, like this percussion instrument that because I was a therapist, I um, it was a bit uncomfortable when I would speak because there was like an echo, or it was much louder than it 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 sounded louder to me. Um, it probably wasn't
Rishi,
the other
would you
people.
compare it to like the feedback of if you're like listening to yourself speak? Is it like that?
Yes, 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 yes. That's a good analogy. Yeah, and so because my profession at the time, I'm like a professional listener, as a therapist and offering, feedback, it it was a little uncomfortable because of that. And yeah, it's like I would say something and then there'd be like this reverberation or this feedback, and I was forced to listen to that instead of my client responding immediately. So sometimes in the beginning of their response, I would miss a word or two because
음,
I'm still listening to this like reverberation.
but
It
other
was
other people couldn't feel it. Only you
only
heard it.
me.
Oh,
Yeah, only me. Because it was all inside. It was all like these sound, this kind of percussive acoustic sound with an echo inside me, but no one else could hear it. So yeah, that posed a little bit of you know, um, a little bit of a problem.
and when you said you didn't like when you answered my question, like when you said you didn't, I had two questions: whether you felt dry, and whether
Okay.
you had craving. So
Yeah.
it was no for both.
Dry, yeah, dry pretty much really happened in during the 21 day uh, Breatharian conversion, the 21 day conversion process. That's, yeah, definitely I was feeling dry then. But, prior to doing the 21 day conversion process, I did a lot of detoxing and cleansing and then, as I mentioned, I was guiding people in the same process. And so, yeah, I would say after the 21 days, the dryness kind of left me,
Mhm. And
and I
then
had
no
a lot of
cravings.
energy
No
and
cravings.
no cravings.
Okay, I'm gonna translate up until now.
Yeah.
어,
But the no,
그래서
real quick, the no cravings has to do, which I'll explain, and after you translate, has to do with my personality. So I'll mention that. Yeah.
그래서 이제 3개월간 건단식을 했는데 당신이 목마름이 없었는지 그리고 음식을 향한 갈망이 없었는지 제가 물어봤고요. 리시의 답입니다. 놀랍게도 없었다. 그것보다 더 불편한 거는 아까 얘기한 것처럼 내 몸이 막 타악기처럼 너무 진동을 해서 내 목소리가 계속 울리는 거 그게 더 불편했다. 왜냐하면 그 당시에 자기가 테라피스트 그래서 다른 사람들의 말을 들어주고 이런 직업을 하고 있었는데 내가 말을 하고 다른 이제 그 내담자가 내담자, 상담자, 뭐가 듣는 사람이지? 아무튼 나의 고객이 이제 말을 시작했는데도 나는 아직 내 목소리에 에코를 듣고 있었다. 이런 경험이 불편을 했다고 얘기를 하고요. 음, 그래서 21일 그 건단식 때는 목이 살짝 말랐는데 그 21일이 지나고 3개월간은 목이 마르지 않았습니다. 왜냐하면 그 전에 디톡스를 충분히 많이 했거든요. 음, 그리고 음식에 대한 갈망이 없냐는 질문에 대해서는 어, 없었습니다. 그런데 이것은 나의 성격 때문이라고 말을 하고 싶습니다. 그리고 그 부분에 대해 이제 자세히 설명을 할게요. So about your personality and no craving?
Yeah. So all of this is all of what I'm sharing with you is because I have an interest in using my body as a laboratory, and like I mentioned before, exploring the edge, of human potential. And are you still there?
We hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the screen went blank for a moment. Um, and so when I choose to do something like go through a food-free period, I can't. My personality is like black and white. It's either I do that, or even if I eat one grape, it's like, okay, I ate one grape, so now I'm gonna have, I'm gonna taste that watermelon over there, or I'll have a slice of orange. So that's what I mean by I didn't have any cravings because I was just like, um, yeah, that's just it's somewhat people might see that as extreme. I don't know, but I'm kind of black and white in that when I'm during the process of using my body as like a laboratory.
So when you say black and white, it wasn't like willpower, but rather you stay in this like state where it's like it's just no food. So it's no food, no craving.
Yeah,
어,
yeah,
그래서 이게 제 성격 때문에 사람들이 단식할 때 음식이 막 땡기고 하는데 저는 그런 게 없었어요. 왜냐하면 아까도 얘기한 것처럼 저는 제 몸을 실험실로 이용을 하고요. 그리고 제 성격이, 내가 지금 음식을 안 먹는 상태다 하면 완전히 그 상태에 머무는 걸 좋아하고 마치 흑백처럼 그래서 내가 하나의 포도라도 먹으면 그래 난 이제 하나를 먹었어. 그래서 이제 수박도 먹을 거야. 이런 식으로 약간 자기 성격이 좀 그렇대요. 그래서 이걸 막 억지로 의지로 난 지금 음식 안 먹으니까 안 먹을 거야 이런 게 아니라 그냥 3개월 동안 나는 음식 안 먹는 상태네 이렇게 자연스럽게 어, 음식에 대한 갈망도 없이 지냈다고 합니다. 오케이.
And one thing I want to mention is, you know, I feel for me, it's very, I was busy during this 3 months. You know, I was still had the same client load. You know, limit, I didn't reduce my client load. And so I was busy, I was active. And I feel that, I mean, it's a fine line, you know, it's like when you're doing something new like this with your body, it's like you need the downtime, you need the time of doing nothing. But if you have too much of that, then the mind wanders. And I suppose cravings might happen more, you know, when if you choose just to do nothing, you know, and so I think that may have helped me because I was still busy. I was in the city, um, and I would imagine if I was on an island or you know at a retreat during these 3 months that you know, my mind could have wandered and um, started thinking about cravings.
그래서 제가 하나 언급하고 싶은 거는요. 이 3개월 건단식 기간 동안 상당히 바빴어요. 그래서 계속 똑같이 그 손님들을 보고 있었고, 테라피스트로서, 어, 되게 활동적이었습니다. 이게 되게 좀 섬세한 부분인데, 미묘한 부분인데, fine line. 어, 이런, 당신의 몸을 가지고 당신이 이렇게 뭐 건단식 3개월을 하든 새로운 거를 막 하면 약간의 다운타임, 좀 쉬는 시간도 필요는 해요. 아무것도 안 하고. 그런데 너무 그러고만 있으면 당신의 마음이 막 이제 wanders, 막 배회하기 시작할 거예요. 그래서, craving, 음식에 향한 갈망이 더 생길 수 있어요. 그래서 내가 그냥 내 삶을 그대로 바쁘게 살았기 때문에, 도시에서 오히려 도움이 됐던 것 같고, 내가 어디 섬에 가서 막 고요히 피정에 들어가고 이랬으면 오히려 더 크레이빙 음식이 땡겼을 수도 있을 것 같습니다. 음, 오케이.
Okay, so after after that licking the spoon, you know, scenario that happened, I decided, okay, I'm gonna begin drinking a little bit. And by the way, it was very little of what came off the spoon that I licked because I caught it in time to where I was like, oh, what am I doing? You know, with the pumpkin seed cheese. But the water that I used to kind of wash that down, that actually was a little irritating on my throat because it had been 3 months. So, um, but after that, I began um, drinking a little bit. I had some coconut water. I had some dark leafy green juice, no sugar. And yeah, slowly over the course of 2 weeks, I would drink a little bit. And then my appetite returned. I mean, it wasn't like I was hungry, but I guess my mental appetite returned, and it wanted to, my mind, I guess, wanted to stimulate itself and taste things again. And so, yeah, you want to share that?
그래서 아까 3개월 건단식 하고, 그, 생채식 요리하다가, 그, 숟가락에 있는 걸 뭐 핥아 먹었다는 에피소드를 얘기했는데요. 그거에 대해 좀 더 얘기를 하자면, 이제 그래서 그걸 핥아 먹고, 그걸 씻어내기 위해서 살짝 물을 마셨는데, 오히려 그 살짝 맛본 거는 몸에 큰 무리가 없었는데, 그걸 씻어내기 위해 마신 물이 오히려 몸에 더 불편했어요. 왜냐하면, 음, 3개월 동안 안 마셨는데 목 쪽이 되게 불편하더라고요. 그렇게 하고 나서 이제 코코넛 워터도 마시게 되고 진녹색 녹즙 케일이나 청경채 같은 거죠. 녹즙 설탕이 없는 이런 걸 또 마시게 되고 천천히 2주 동안 뭔가를 마시게 되면서 제 식욕도 돌아왔어요. 이게 내 몸이 막 배고프다 그런 감각은 아니었는데 이게 마음에 관한 것 같아요, 이 식욕은. 그래서 내 마음이 다시 이제 뭔가 자극을 찾고 뭔가를 맛보고 싶어 하는 상태가 다시 되었습니다. 오케이.
Okay. And then I told myself, okay, in 10 years, I will drop food and liquid and food free in 10 years. I feel I had a pretty good experience of being dry. And so I returned to eating fruit and juicing dark leafy greens. It made it easier, socially, and for me, it was such a complete discovery or answer that I received with knowing that I can drop food and liquid when I have more of a supporting environment where I live. So it was never like a really, strong goal. Like goals, I feel they may be good for some people, but I think they're equally bad in a way. Yeah, because they just keep you in. I feel that it's when you have a strict goal, then your attention, your daily moment to moment hyper vigilance attention is not there because you're relying on this future goal. And it keeps you trapped in concepts of time and space and I'm starting something, I'm finishing something, and that what I've discovered, the attention gets a little lazy because it's relying on this future goal, whereas this is really a spiritual calling. This isn't about goals. It's a natural progression when one goes deep dives on a sacred journey where they connect with their like a soul assignment in this life cycle. And the assignment, there's no finish line with that assignment. It's simply being hyper vigilant with one's attention moment to moment.
그래서 10년 후에 나는 음식과 액체를 놓고 살아야겠다 이런 생각도 했어요. 음, 건단식의 경험은 이제 그러니까 음식이 필요 없다는 경험은 충분히 했다고 느꼈거든요. 그래서 과일과 진녹색 녹즙을 마시는 걸로 돌아갔어요. 어, 내가 이제 좀 더 주변에 협조적인 어, 환경이 있다면 음식과 액체 없이 살기가 좀 편하겠구나 이런 걸 발견한 경험이었습니다. 그런데 이게 음식을 놓겠다 이런 게 되게 어떤 강한 목표는 아니었어요. 왜냐하면 어, 누군가한테 뭐 목표라는 게 좋을 수도 있지만 또 나쁘기도 하거든요. 이런 강한 목표가 있으면 매 순간에 이런 강렬한 깨어있음, 알아차림이 어, 없어져요. 왜냐하면 미래의 목표에 의존하고 있기 때문인데요. 당신을 가두고, 당신의 시공간이라는 환상 속에 가두고, 관념 속에 가두게 돼요. 내가 지금 뭔가를 시작한다. 내가 지금 뭔가를 끝낸다. 이런, 의식의 상태에 있으면 이 알아차림이 되게 게을러져요. 미래에 다 내 에너지가, 내 주의력이 가 있거든요. 그래서 이거는 영적인 소명, 이라고 봐요. 어떤 마음이 만들어내는 목표가 아니라, 어, 자연스럽게, 음, 성스러운 이 여정에 깊이 한 사람이 천착하면, 이제 깊이 들어가면, 현생에서 자기의 영혼의 숙제, 자기가 영혼의 소명과 연결이 됩니다. 이 영혼이 할 일은, 어, 끝나지 않아요. 이것은 그냥 매 순간, 자, 어, vigilant, vigilant 한국말로 뭐라고 할까요? 어,
뭐 엄청 조심하다, 잘 살펴본다.
이게 막 윗바사나 가면 vigilant 이런 얘기가 나오는데, 이제 깨어있는, 그래서 이렇게 되게, 어, 깨어있는 상태로 매 순간을 사는 것입니다. 영적인 숙제라는 것이, 소명이란 것이. 오케이.
Okay. Uh, I'll return to the sequence of events that leads up until today, but I just wanted to keep it real and just say that I'm just sharing my story. I didn't. I'm not here with you all to teach you anything. You have to use your own body as a laboratory and explore for yourself, test yourself. Um, and, this whole process with working with this body, this human avatar, mind body organism, is a byproduct of my spiritual journey. That's always been number one for me. And And that has informed my entire adult life, my choices. And so becoming more empty, like an atom, which is 99.99999% empty space, returning to the original blueprint, human blueprint, and moving through this 3D hologram as emptiness, because we are that. And so I just wanted to emphasize that all my body experiences, it all came, they've all been byproducts. Like I never went on this path of a vegetarian, vegan, raw vegan for my health. It was never that. I didn't have any health issues. But my spiritual journey, when you have a self-realizing experience, you realize that you are no longer, your primary identity is not the avatar, is not the mind, body, emotional human avatar. That's secondary. But the number one unidentified identity, I will say, the non-identity identity, is that we are formless, we are faceless, nameless, formless consciousness that animates all creation. And everyone is that nameless, faceless, formless consciousness or awareness. And if there's any identity to attach yourself to, that one's a good choice, because that's going to alleviate suffering more than any other way or path. You want to share that?
Sure. 그래서 이제 저는 일어났던 사건들의 우리가 시간선으로 얘기를 하고 있었는데 거기로 다시 돌아가 볼게요. 음, 저는 단순히 제 이야기를 공유하는 것 뿐이고요. 누구에게도 무엇이든 가르치고 싶지 않아요. 당신 스스로의 몸을 실험실로 이용해서 탐험해 보세요. 어, 이 모든 과정이 어, 이 인간의 육체 아바타와 이렇게 실험을 하는 모든 과정이 나의 영적인 여정의 부산물이었어요. 마음과 어, 이 영적인 여정이 항상 나에게는 첫 번째였고, 더 비어있는 상태가 되는 것. 마치 원자처럼, 원자는 99.99999%빈 공간이니까요. 그래서 인간의 태초의 청사진으로 돌아가는 것. 그리고, 어, 이 3D 홀로그램, 이 가상현실 속에서 그 상태로 살아가는 것.
그리고 그거 얘기할 때 약간 건강이 절대 이런 행위들이 한 이유가 아니었다. 그냥 무조건적으로 그런 영적인 영성 그런 거를 찾아갈 때 그 약간 부작용으로 나온 게 음식을 안 먹는 거? 그렇게 얘기한 거지.
음. 그래서 당신이 자기의 이제 참자, 내가 누군지 알게 되는 경험을 하면 당신의 주 정체성은 이제 이 아바타, 몸과 마음이 아니라는 걸 깨닫게 돼요. 이 감정도 아니라는 걸. 그건 부차적이고, 나의 본질은 unidentified identity. 어, 뭔지 모르는 그것? non-identity identity. 정체가 없는 정체? 아, 우리는 형태도 없고, 얼굴도 없고, 이름도 없고, 형태가 없는 의식입니다. 그 의식이 모든 것을 창조하고 힘을 불어넣죠.
그러니까
모두가,
거기 안에서 고통이 사라진다. 뭐 이런 식으로.
음, okay, brother.
Okay. Thank you for all your hard work there. It's awesome that you and your team are producing this festival. Thank you.
We're enjoying it.
Nice. Yeah, there has to be some passion behind it for sure.
음,
But yeah, that's one thing, I hear a lot of people use the word freedom. And kind of like the word love, it's overused and it's losing its true meaning because freedom, ultimate freedom, is transcending name and form, transcending name, form, and body. It includes body, it includes name and form, but it transcends name and form. That's freedom. Freedom to do what I want to do and go where I want to go, and I'm free to use my body as laboratory or explore human potential. This is relative freedom, but it's not the absolute freedom. This is relative freedom regarding this this 3D reality. Yeah, you want to share that little piece?
요즘 사람들이 freedom, 자유나 사랑이라는 말을 되게 많이 쓰는데요. 너무 남용되는 것 같아요. 그래서 자유라는 진짜 의미를 잃게 되는 것 같은데요. 궁극적인 자유는 이름과 형태를 넘어서는 것, 초월하는 것입니다. 형태, 마음, 몸을 초월하는 것입니다. 그것은 몸을 포함을 하지만, 이름과 형태를 다 포함을 하지만, 그것들을 초월하는 거예요. 내가 뭘 할 수 있는 자유, 어디 갈 수 있는 자유, 내 몸을 실험실로 사용할 수 있는 자유, 이런 것들은 상대적인 자유이지만 절대적인 자유는 아닙니다. 이 3D 현실에서 어떤 우리가 취할 수 있는 상대적인 자유입니다. 오케이.
Um, so for me, because there was this realization on my spiritual path, motivation to focus on the body was not as strong. That's why I don't have an online presence, really. Because, I'm not seeking validation. I feel that's a trap, or attention, or to be recognized or acknowledged. And so, yeah, sometimes there can be a motivation issue. Because many people, teachers, if there's no one to teach, then their spiritual connection isn't strong enough for them to stay on the path, on the on the sacred journey. Okay, you can share that.
그래서 저한테는 제 영적인 길에서 이런 깨달음이 있었는데 motivation, 이 의욕, 동기부여 이런 것들이 내 몸에 대해서 집중하고 어, brother, you said like the sorry, I kind of lost the track. Um, on your spiritual path, like focusing on your body was not your motivation. You said it.
Yeah. Well, what I meant was once you realize who or what you truly are, then motivation to talk about the body is less. That's it's simplified.
그래서 막 온라인에서 제가 온라인에 저 자신을 많이 드러내지 않는데요. 그 아까 얘기한 제가 누구인지를 기억하고 알게 되면 내 몸에 대해서 얘기하고 다른 사람들한테 관심받고 인정받고 이런 그런 동기부여 그런 게 없어져요. 근데 많은 영적 스승들, 구루들 뭐 이런 사람들이 내가 가르칠 사람이 없어지면 영적인 연결성이 약해집니다. Okay, brother.
Yeah, so just add this and then we'll move on. And that is, so the human mind body avatar, that's like a microcosm. And when you realize who you are, then who or what you really are, which is a verb, not a noun, you zoom out and you become the macrocosm observer, or not even observer. There's this macrocosm observing that occurs. So you're observing the microcosm that is this form, but you're not like you have realized that the microcosm is more within the macrocosm or dependent on the macrocosm. The macrocosm isn't quite as dependent on the microcosm. And it's kind of like this. It's like you're not in a body. All bodies are within you. That kind of perspective.
그래서 인간의 마음과 몸이라고 하는 아바타는 소우주라고 할 수 있죠. 당신이 누구인지 깨닫는다면, 그리고 이 당신이 누구인지는 명사가 아니라 동사예요. 당신은 zoom out, zoom out 하게 되는데, 내가 마이크로, cosm, 소우주라는 이 의식에서 내가 macrocosm, 더 큰 우주다. 이 관찰자라는 말보다도 대우주가 관찰을 하는, 이렇게 계속 동사적으로 이렇게 표현을 하는데요. 그 관찰을 하는 그것이, 그런 대우주가 된다. 그래서 당신은 이 소우주, 몸과 마음 이런 것들을 관찰하게 되고, 음, 그래서 이 대우주가 소우주에 의존하는 게 아니라, 아닙니다. 당신은 당신의 몸이 아니고, rather, 모든 몸이 당신 안에 있다고 할 수 있겠습니다. 오케이.
Yeah. So I guess we can move on with the. Oh, I wanted to say that. So this observing perspective is not ignoring the body, name and form, identity. It's including the body, and it's even celebrating the body because it's a miracle. And this form, this world of forms, is really an incredible miracle. So it's always including the body and celebrating the body, but it's not. Uh,
It's not a dismissal.
yeah, it's not a dismissal. It's not a dismissal at all. It's the body, the human mind body avatar is no longer the center of the universe. It's included and celebrated, but it's no longer the center. The perspective is a zoomed out, expansive perspective that is including and celebrating the body, but one is no longer identified with the ego, the separate individual, the separate individual. Yeah.
이런 관찰자의 이런 관점은 그런데 몸을 무시하는 게 아니에요. 이름과 정체성, 그 형태로서의 정체성을 무시하는 게 아니고 그것들을 포함하는 겁니다. 그리고 celebrating, 오히려 이것들을 축하하는 거? celebrate? 아, 왜냐하면 이것은 기적이에요. 이 형태의 현시된 세상, 이 세상은, 물질 세계는 엄청난 기적입니다. 그래서 이 몸을 무시하는 게 아니고 포함하는 겁니다. 하지만 이 인간의 마음과 몸이라는 아바타가 우주의 중심이 더 이상 되지 않고 포함은 되고 축하받을 일이지만 중심은 아니에요. 그래서 줌아웃해서 좀 더 확장된 관점을 갖게 됩니다. 그래서 그런 상태가 되면 그 사람은 에고와 동일시되지 않고 이 분리된 개인이라는 에고와 동일시되지 않게 됩니다. 오케이.
They say this last little bit, and that is true freedom is realizing we are a noun. I mean, that we are a verb, not a noun. This is what freedom is pointing towards. And then we can move on.
This is a very delicate and beautiful translation point. 그래서 마지막으로 이거에 대해 좀 얘기하면 진정한 자유는 우리가 명사가 아니라는 겁니다. 우리는 동사입니다. 그것이 진정한 자유가 의미하는 바입니다. 이게 맥락이 전달되나? 영어랑 한국어가 좀 달라가지고. 근데 어쨌든 번역은 이렇게 했어요. Okay, when you say we move on, like you like to kind of go back to kind of maybe your path, like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I began eating and drinking again, but not a lot. Like I ate a lot less after that 3 month dry. I was, and it wasn't every day. And it was more just for, at that point, I realized, okay, I'm only eating for really just entertaining the mind, the tongue. And so I then began to do intermittent. I began including intermittent and 1 meal a day, and not every day. But when I would eat, it would be just one time. And I did that for some years. And yeah, wow, this is so long ago. It's yeah, and I guess the last in the last 6 weeks, I've eaten the equivalent or taste the equivalent. I mean, I do swallow, so I guess you can say eaten, but I've tasted the equivalent of like a medium-sized mango in the last 6 weeks. And my sleep is about 10 to 15 hours a week, but it's really just a rest. I mean, I'm not in deep, deep sleep where where it feels like I go unconscious. And
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 like
I'm
drink.
also drinking when I do, and I also do, like, the last time I had coconut water was 6 days ago. But because I'm in the tropics and I'm in Vietnam, um, I enjoy tasting coconut water sometimes. It's not because I'm feeling dry and I need it. It's just, when you realize you're eternal, it removes you from the space time restrictions and yeah. So I'm not. I advocate, if people want to do dry and they want to be food liquid free, then they should experiment and do that. But if it's not enjoyable, if it starts feeling like a goal, and then you're not in your heart and you're more in the mind, and there's more ego there. But if people, I think in the beginning it's good to I mean, you have to, effort's part of it. You have to use some effort. Otherwise, I mean, the fierce current of conditioning, like an ocean current, is so fierce that it's in the beginning, it feels like you're swimming upstream, you're swimming against it. So you definitely have to put in some effort and focus. Um, and it has to be, it can't be miserable, it can't be like, I have no energy and I'm dry and this isn't fun. Or it doesn't even have to be fun, but just that, if the thoughts like, oh, I feel better when I'm eating a little bit, then you should return to food. This is a slow game. It's a very slow process over years. It's not, your life is not an event or a goal. It's a sacred journey, and experiment. Like 2 years, I ate every third day. I would eat something or drink something. And I had plenty of energy. That was so easy to do that. And then I, and in that process, I think I'm drinking or eating, tasting something 10 or 11 days out of the month. So we have to be very gentle and allowing with ourselves. And you know, it's easier. See, that's why I focused on the mind first, because the mind is the software and the body's the hardware. So whatever that informs the mind is going to inform the body. So to examine the mind, observe the mind, deep dive into the mind, what it is, to really, in the beginning of one's spiritual journey, they have to examine, observe, and go very deep, diving into their messy, programmed human conditioning, conditioned from their ancestry, conditioned from society, from culture. You know, if they have dysfunctional behaviors, they got to examine that first. You know, we got to examine our messiness, our messy humanness first, and examine the mind. And I think that's, for me, that was the proper sequence before anything else, because the mind's the software. It created this reality.
My software can't translate too long.
To what?
Like I mean too long. I mean like too. I will translate it now.
Okay. Oh, that was too long that I said. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. For my software.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I thought it
So
was. I thought it was. Sorry.
no, no, it's okay. Um,
Yeah, we're not autonomous yet, Rishi.
그래서
Yes,
그
you
삼,
are. Yes, you are. You were born autonomous. You were born that. We just got indoctrinated, but you were born food liquid free. And you know, so we just forgot. And so now this earth school is about remembering our original blueprint.
그래서 이제 그 3개월 건단식 하고 그 다음에 과정이 어땠는지로 다시 돌아가서 얘기를 할게요. 어, 이 3개월 건단식 하고 음식과 물이 필요 없다는 거를 깨달았는데 그 이후로 다시 먹기를 시작했어요. 매일 먹진 않았고 음, 그냥 마음과 어떤 혀를 엔터테인 즐겁게 하기 위해서 그냥 먹는 느낌이었어요. 그래서 하루에 한 번 먹기도 하고 매일 먹지 않기도 하고 이런 식으로 이제 몇 년간 지냈고 그게 완전 옛날 얘기인데요. 그래서 예를 들어보면 지금 최근 6주 동안 먹은 걸 다 합쳐보면 약간 적당한 크기의 망고 하나 정도일 거예요. 그만큼 많이 안 먹어요. 음, 잠은 일주일에 10시간에서 15시간 정도 자고. 근데 이게 그냥 휴식으로 저한테 느껴지고 내가 의식을 잃는 이런 깊은 수면이라고 느껴지진 않습니다. 제가 지금 열대에 있으니까 베트남에 6일 전에 코코넛 워터 누가 주면 마셨어요. 네. 유진이 있는데 한번 데리고 가야겠네. 그래서 가끔 이 코코넛 워터 마시는 걸 되게 좋아하고요. 내가 목말라서 마시는 건 아니에요. 그래서 당신이 음식과 물로부터 자유로워지고 싶으면 실험을 해보세요. 근데 이게 즐길 수 없고, 이게 막 목표처럼 느껴진다면, 당신이 당신의 그 heart, 심장, 가슴과 연결돼 있지 않다면, 그리고 막 머리로 노는 느낌이라면,
그게
그,
정신하고 마음의 그게 아닌가? 아니,
음, heart and mind라고 했는데, 그게 에고라고 봅니다. 근데 처음에는 이제 노력이 필요하기는 해요. 왜냐하면 마치 거대한 이 바다의 급류처럼 우리에게 수많은 조건화가 있거든요. 그래서 마치 상류로 이 거센 물살을 거스르면서 수영하는 느낌이 들 거예요. 그래서 처음에는 그 거센 물살을 거슬러서 수영하듯이 약간의 effort, 노력은 필요합니다. 근데 이제 너무 miserable, 너무 비참해지는 이런 막 경험은 하지 않으면 좋겠고요. 아, 나 힘이 없어, 나 목말라, 이런 것들. 아, 재미없어. 그렇다면 차라리 음식을 먹는 게 나을 수도 있어요. 이거는 되게 천천히 진행되는 게임이고, 수년간 걸쳐서. 당신의 삶은 뭐, 이벤트나 목표가 아니에요. 이것은 영적인, 신성한 여정입니다. 음, 그래서, 어, 나한테는 마음이 먼저였어요. 왜냐면 마음이 소프트웨어고 몸은 하드웨어거든요. 그래서 마음을 관찰하고 마음 깊이 탐구하고 음, 해보세요. 그래서 영적인 여정이 처음 시작될 때는 깊게 가야 합니다. 이 프로그래밍된 인간의 조건화, 우리 선조들로부터 받은 것들, 사회, 문화로부터 받은 것들 다 관찰하고 어, 탐구해 보세요. Okay, it was a long translation and 유진이가 우리는 아직 오토노머스 아니잖아요. 우리는 아직 빅사리 상태가 아니에요 하니까 리씨가 아니야, 우린 그렇게 태어났어 라고. 근데 그냥 이상한 거 조건화되고 배워진 거야 이렇게 얘기도 했고요. 음, 오케이.
I just want to share this analogy. It's like effort is required. It's like storms inform trees that they need to grow their roots deeper, you know, or diamonds are formed under a great amount of pressure. So these are just two simple metaphors to demonstrate that effort and
그래서 이런 비유를 하고 싶은데 노력은 필요합니다. 마치 폭풍우가 나무들에게 뿌리를 더 깊게 내리라고 말하는 것과 같아요. 그리고 다이아몬드도 엄청난 압력 속에서 어, 생겨나죠. 이런 이 두 개가 노력이 필요할 때도 있다는 필요하다는 비유입니다. 음흠.
Oh, there's one more that's a really good one that I think your Korean friends will like. So a pearl is formed in it grows in an oyster shell. We all know that. But the reason why it grows is because a single grain of sand gets inside that oyster shell and creates irritation. And then, so what happens, the oyster shell releases this like calcium. It's like, and it like, it creates like this calcification around that single grain of sand to create the pearl from the irritation.
한국에도 이런 비슷한 그 비유가 있나? 그 진주. 한국 사람들이 좋아할 예시를 하나 더 들어볼게요. 진주는 굴의 그 껍질에서 자라죠. 우리가 알다시피. 얘가 왜 생기냐 보면 단 하나의 모래알갱이가 그 굴의 껍데기 속으로 들어오면 얘가 자극을 하잖아요. irritation. 그러면 이 굴 껍데기가 칼슘을 내보냅니다. 그 칼슘이 이 한 알에 모래를 둘러싸서 만들어지는 게 진주입니다. 오케이.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you have any questions, or, I can mention a few things that I've done in my life, like daily routines or practices that, you know,
Because maybe people were muted for a while, so we go questions first, and maybe
Okay.
you could share
Yeah.
your practices.
Yeah. I'm an open book. So whatever
Dongyu,
questions.
can I start with my classic question?
Yes.
Go on.
Okay. What do you think about like sex? Like, for instance, do you like subscribe to this notion of tantra and not letting go of your like sperm and your Christ force like this? Or do you think like, at some point we have to go beyond it and sex doesn't it's no longer like a physical thing? And then what are your views on like partners too? Like once you're at a certain consciousness, do you only kind of maintain a relationship with one, or those kinds of questions?
Yeah, good. Yeah, those are very relevant. Well, so when the body is digesting every piece of food that is swallowed, that goes into the body, there's hormones in that piece of food. And the body interprets or translates those hormones into the lower chakras, into the genitals get stimulated with food, absolutely 100%. And it's a hormonal stimulation. And what most humans do, which is fine. I mean, they do it, and it's best just to acknowledge that it happens sometimes, and then that's when you can do something about it. But eating is an emotional choice. Instead of expressing the emotion, the pleasure centers, taste, smell, touch, is oftentimes just easier. convenient and easier to deal with, to play with, instead of the emotions, because the emotions could be some difficult ones. And so when you eat that piece of food, I've known where I've gone, like, let's just say a week dry, and if I taste a piece of food and swallow, I'll get my genital, my lingam gets stimulated just from that. And yeah, so that's it. There's a emotional, hormonal, and emotional, like, without a doubt, influence that stimulates sexual desire. And if you take food out of the equation, then the sexual desire drops a lot. And I think, because think of it, food is like, it's a body, it's a food body, piece of food body, right? And you eat that food body, then on a very subtle hormonal level, that informs your body, your genitals, like uh like a procreation influence on a subtle level. Oh, I just ate that food body. Now that's influencing me to create another body. Yeah, I mean, you look at a fruit tree and you see all the, like, hundreds of pieces of fruit on that tree. And yeah, I think there's a relationship there. I think that there's something relevant there. And I do feel that, well, semen retention is kind of like a natural byproduct if you're not eating. It just kind of happens. But you could drink something that has a little spice to it. Doesn't just have to be food. You could drink, like, even, let's just say, some water with some a spicy seasoning in it. I can't think of, it's been so long, I can't think of the name of a seasoning, but just drinking that, not a lot, like a sprinkle, and that's going to activate your genitals for sure. And as far as lovers go, for me, I'm receptive to a partner that is also practicing a pranic lifestyle. And she doesn't need to be food or liquid free, but definitely dry days. And I feel the more important than intercourse is the innocent, lighthearted expressions of love and intimacy through gentle touch, holding hands, walking, holding hands, lying down together, naked, and just feeling each other's, celebrating the tactile animal that the human avatar is. And just, yeah, gentle caressing, but not with this goal of orgasm. But, very possible orgasm can happen with no intercourse on some real subtle level, through just gentle touch, through just like one body lying on top of you, like naked, but just without the intention of intercourse or any of that, just innocent embracing. That to me is way more sustainable than intercourse. Yeah. I forget sometimes about, as you probably already noticed, translation. So I should have stopped.
Yeah, but like maybe it was better to cover all the questions. So 유진아 번역 좀 해볼래?
Oh gosh, she's handing off the translation to me, but I was kind of listening in flow, not in a recording mode.
내가 해볼 테니까 너가
Yeah, I'll try to
옵션.
fill in the depth. Yeah.
음흠.
No, I thought you were with me, bro. You were with me just from a little bit of body language I saw with you. It's like, yeah, I feel that you resonated.
Oh, 100%. So Donggyu's gonna try to translate, and then I'll fill in the holes.
Okay.
It's an actually like an interesting part, mm, when I'm like trying to translate kind of correctly, I'm like a little bit mind-based. I would love to like be with you, just fully immersed, but yeah, I gotta
Yeah, you got your role. You got your role.
yeah. So
And this wouldn't be happening unless you were playing that role. So perfect.
유진이 질문이 이제 유진이의 단골 질문 지금 5번, 6번 지금 한 것 같은데 섹스보이라고 불러도 될 것 같아. 그
Oh my God.
성, 성에 관한 질문에 많이 물어봐 주고 나도 되게 그 도움이 되는데 음, 이제 탄트라나 뭐 semen retention 뭐 사정을 참는 거 뭐 그리고 전반적으로 파트너와의 관계, 사랑 이런 거에 대해서 물어본 것 같아요. 유진이가.
아, 형, 조금 생각난다. 그러니까 처음 이야기했던 게 약간 뭔가를 먹으면 그 reproductive 부분을 뭐라 그러지?
재생산되는 그러니까
그러니까
성기 뭐
그
이런 것들?
그런 그러니까 한마디로 자지가 자극된다. 어? 그래서 안 먹을수록 오히려 그런 성적인 성욕이 없어진다. 그러니까 별로 막 너무나 많이 생산되지 않는다. 그래서 자연스럽게 그게 줄어들고, 그리고 먹을 때마다 이 먹는 거 안에 호르몬이 들어있으니까 그 호르몬이 우리를 영향할 때가 많고, 그 다음에 그래서 그런 사정을 안 하는 거에 대해서 자연스럽게 사정을 안 하게 되고, 그 다음에 그 지점에서 또 어떤 얘기들이 있었을까?
음. 그래서 막 일주일만 건단식을 해도 약간의 음식만 먹어도 링금? 이게 뭘까? 링
We're asking, what is lingam? I don't even know. Is it like
Yeah,
between?
it's a Sanskrit term regarding penis.
오케이, 오케이, 오케이.
Yeah.
그냥 고추.
It's Hindu.
산스크리트어로 어쨌든 그 성기에 뭔가 조금만 먹어도 7일 건단식 후에 어, 그 자극이 온다고 하네요. 그러니까 음식이 엄청난 섹슈얼 드라이브 이거를 몰고 온다는 거를 오픈북으로서 얘기를 했고 그 미래 파트너님이 한국에 계시면 참고를 하세요. 그래서 뭐
It's hard
하나하나
to
다
say. That's such a funny word, lingam. I'm gonna use that from now on, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes mischievously. Lingam.
And well, the women vagina is called yoni. So yoni and lingam.
Yoni. Oh, interesting.
Y-O-N yoni. Y-O-N-I.
That sounds cute. Yoni.
Yeah.
Lingam.
Yeah.
아,
제가 얘기해 주려고 그랬는데 리씨가 바로 답을 해줬네요. 우리 임감과 요원이. 힌두에서 여성과 남성의 성기를 표현한 단어죠.
She was about to ask about that, and you just mentioned it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, Sanskrit, Hindu terms.
그래서
그다음에 또
뭐 파트너랑은 그 인터코urse 그 뭐 삽입 뭐 성교 이런 것보다 그런 부드러운 터치나 뭐 같이 누워 있고 몸을 이렇게 쓰다듬고 어떤 오르가즘에 이르겠다는 어떤 목표 없이 그런 만지는 것만으로도 오르가즘이 생길 수도 있지만
그리고 리시 본인은 약간 그런 좀 프라나에 가까운, 그러니까 무조건 막 음식을 안 먹는 상태일 필요는 없지만 그런 의식이 있는 파트너를 찾겠다, 그렇게 얘기를 했지, 동규.
뭐 찾겠다 그런 사람이면 좋겠다
아, 열려 있다, 먼저.
단식도 하고 그지 그래서 이게 길면 이거 문장별로 다 번역할 수는 없을 것 같고요. 이게 Rishi, it's kind of a choice, like because if I let you talk like a long like sentences, it becomes really it flows like you can deliver, you know, kind of context, but gets difficult to translate. So that's my
Interrupt
maybe.
me. Interrupt me.
Let's figure out like a balanced.
Yeah.
So Eugene, your question all like answered.
I guess the other part is about like the kind of partners. Like, do you like? I guess you would really kind of focus and hone in on one partner, right? And then,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
파트너를
Swans,
한 사람
you know, they're together their whole life. Two swans.
파트너 한
Swan.
사람만 원하는지 유진이가 물어봤고요. 그래서 마치 백조들처럼 평생 동안 두 백조가 같이 지내듯이 absolutely 자기는 그러고 싶다고 하네요. 폴리아모리 호흡식을 주장하는 친구가 나올 때까지 계속 물어볼 거야? 유진이는?
글쎄, 아니 없는 것 같아. 그래서 Dongi just asked me, "Are you gonna keep asking until someone says polyamory is the best way?"
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't subscribe to polyamorous. I feel that it takes many, many years just to establish a wonderful foundation of friendship. Friendship, and then, you know, and then it can become more intimate.
Okay.
Yeah.
폴리아모리 뭐 자기도 경험해. You said you've like experienced it, like polyamorous.
No.
음.
그냥 그러니까 시간을 준다고. 처음에는 약간 친구로 좀 오래 친하다가 그 다음에 그런 좀 더 뭐라고 해야 되나, 파트너적인 것을 찾을 수 있다, 이런 식으로.
intimate 한 관계가 되기까지 시간이 많이 걸린다. 이런 얘기를 한 것 같네요. Rather like I still my eyesight was heavily damaged when like going through the Korean education, and it's actually healed a little bit. But I feel when I stay fasted, I sometimes go like roam around even without them. Then food seem like it's a very I can feel it very strongly. I eat something and eyesight even gets like
Worse.
worse.
Yeah.
For you, do you use like glasses or
I just started about, well, I should say 2 years ago. I'm 59 now. 2 years ago, I started using the number one reading glasses, and then in the U.S. is from 1 to maybe 5. So I'm just started using the reading glasses. However, I've also really been I know it's kind of a unspoken epidemic globally with young people needing glasses, needing some kind of uh, eye device to make them see better. Um, and it's because of the screens and the blue light and all the screens. And so I have over the years, that's why I'm kind of like old school, a little low tech. I don't I try to limit or measure my screen time. And one thing I do use though is I always at night, if I'm if I'm looking at a screen at night, I always use the blue light blockers. And and then in the evening when I want to rest, I unplug everything, like all routers, devices, uh, everything in the room. I'm completely everything's unplugged. I think that's better for a good rest.
시력에 대해서 제가 물어봤고요. 제가 한국 교육 속에서 눈이 정말 많이 상했는데, 어릴 때. 이게 단식을 길게 하면 안경을 거의 벗고 지내도 될 정도로 막 선명해질 때도 있고, 근데 이게 음식을 먹으면서 얘가 영향을 주는 게 너무 잘 느껴진다. 네, 리시 당신은 어떤가요? 라고 물어봤고, 이게 젊은 사람들이 안경 이렇게 쓰는 게 마치 전염병처럼 사람들이 말은 안 하지만 그렇다고 느껴집니다. 그래서 저는 올드스쿨적인 면이 좀 있는데, 테크 잘 안 쓰고, 이제 스크린 많이 안 보려고 하고, 이제 밤에 잘 때는, 모든 걸 다 언플러그 합니다. 라우터, 뭐, 기기, 방에 있는 모든 거. 어, 그래서
And
쉬기에
in
훨씬
a dark room too, dark as possible.
가능한, 어두운 방으로 만들고요. Then, most people when as they like reach a certain age, like they use this reading glasses.
Yeah.
This is like you find it difficult to read something or see something that's close to your eyes. How do you feel about it? Is it also an epidemic, or because you said you got them recently, or is it a natural?
2 years ago. There's a study where there were farmers in their like 80s, and they didn't have any they didn't wear any glasses, no eye deterioration, and it was because they were looking far into the distance. They were looking at their fields, at their farms, at their orchards. So they were always they had a lot more of an expansive view.
Mm.
And then other people, educated people that were living in cities and whatnot, the same age, there's more degeneration with their vision. It was interesting. So that's why if I'm on the computer, I'll look out the window and look at the horizon line sometimes, for a while, and just getting just trying to maintain the optic nerve being flexible and not rigid.
음, 음. 그래서 이제 노안에 관해서 제가 물어봤고, 80년대에 이제 도시에서 사는 사람들이 아니라, 막 들판에서 이렇게 멀리 볼 수 있고 이랬던 사람들이, 안경을 안 썼다라는 이런 얘기들을 리씨가 해줬고요. 어, 그래서 자기도 컴퓨터 쓰면 막 멀리 보려고 한다, 이런 얘기를 하는데, so if I could ask you personally, so for you, like having to use the glasses like at your age, do you feel it's kind of lifestyle, like you still um have to read or watch screen a bit? How do you feel about it?
Um,
Like,
well, it took me some years to get up to the speed of other people that use the internet, and use their devices. Because luckily I didn't have to do that for my work, and so I feel that because of that, I was able to. My vision was good until just a couple of years ago. At 57, 56, 57. And, of course, there's a little small death inside me that was just like, oh, okay, well, I held out as long as possible. And now I need, I need just the weakest reading glasses that are available. And, however, sometimes instead of using them, I'll make the screen larger so that all the letters are bigger. Um, uh, yeah, but I feel that I feel that we could have our vision late into our later years, 60s, 70s, 80s, if we were not using so much screen, being affected by the blue light with the phones and the computers and all the screens that we're constantly looking at.
리씨가 59세인데 2년 전에 이제 그 돋보기 안경을 되게 약한 걸로 샀다, 이제 조금은 쓴다고 해서, 어, 개인적으로 리씨 어떤 상태인지 물어봤고요. 어, 그래서 올드스쿨이라서 처음에 막 인터넷 이 물밀듯이 들어올 때 적응하는데 속도가 상당히 오래 걸렸고, 어, 56, 57세 이렇게 될 때까지 시력이 되게 좋았는데, 스크린 좀 쓰면서 지금은 약하지만 돋보기를 좀 써야 된다고 얘기를 하는 것 같아요. 어, 그래서 이제 6, 70, 80대까지 우리가 스크린 안 쓰고 막 이렇게 살 수 있으면 안 써도 되지 않을까, 이렇게 느낀다고 합니다. 어, 지금 뭐 혜성님, 뭐 토마토, 수아님 계시려나? 뭐 수아님 하고 싶은 얘기 있나요? 기쁨이 보여줘도 되고. 걷고 있어요? 이번엔 비디오가 꺼졌다. 마이크, 마이크,
잘못 눌러서 나가져 버렸어요. 지금 잠깐 이제 주차장에 와서 잠깐 쉬고 있어요.
음,
기쁨이 잠깐 여기 앉아 있었는데 거기서 어디 가고 없네.
기쁨이도 듣고 있었나요?
기쁨이랑 계속 같이 듣고 있었어요. 그래서 걸으면서 계속 들으면서 왔어요.
She's been walking with her son and listening to our talk.
Nice. Barefoot. I'm on the beach, at sunrise every morning or before, like around 4:35 and in the morning. And I have that luxury right now. I can do that. But to really stimulate, activate, or trigger the circadian rhythm in your body, so that your sleep cycle is more on a predictable schedule, and it's just when you're in alignment with the circadian rhythms of nature, everything works better in the body. Everything, and all you need to do is ideally be barefoot. You could do it at your house. You look up into the sky. It doesn't have to. You don't have to be looking directly into the sun. It can be a cloudy day, and you just look up into the full spectrum light of the sky in the morning, right near sunrise, And even doing that like 5 minutes, that will activate your circadian rhythm for the rest of the day. And it's more important to wake up at the same time every day than it is to go to sleep at the same time every day.
I'm gonna translate it, but one thing you said you wake up 4:35 every morning and walk on the beach barefoot.
Barefoot, yeah.
그래서
And I have that
매일
luxury right now, but not always. But
매,
yeah.
매일 새벽 4시 35분에 일어나서 바닷가에서 맨발로 걷는다고 하고요. Circadian rhythm, 한국말로 뭐 일주기 리듬이라 하나요? 그 이게 되게 중요하다고 봅니다. 그래서 이 circadian rhythm, 일주기 리듬이 몸에 이렇게 잘 작동되면 당신 몸의 모든 게 더 잘 작동될 거예요. 그래서 이상적으로는 맨발이 최고고, 음, 하늘을 5분만이라도 이렇게 쳐다보면, cloudy day라도, 구름이 있더라도, 이 하늘에서 내려오는 full spectrum of light, 이 빛의 스펙트럼을 받아들이면, 바로 이제 남은 하루 동안 그 일주기 리듬이 활성화될 거예요. 그래서 밤에 똑같은 시간에 자는 것보다 아침에 똑같은 시간에 일어나는 게 더 중요하다고 봅니다. Then um, you tend to wake up before the sunrise.
Yeah, definitely here. It's incredible here. I mean, people are out in the water swimming and doing yoga and exercising on the beach, all these Vietnamese at like 4:30 in the morning when it's still dark out. It's incredible. It's so inspirational.
And then right after the sun gets a little bit high, they all disappear, right? And go on their day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Filipino.
Yeah. So the one thing about the circadian rhythm is it's best to be have no shoes on. You can be standing on your grass in your yard or the dirt, the earth, and but that's the best to have no shoes on because the skin of the earth is like it's the earth itself is a massive battery, and but what you'll notice with the circadian rhythms is that it totally regulates your body. I mean, you end up having bowel movements that are the same or at the same time every day. Your sleep, when you do choose to sleep, you fall asleep much faster. Yeah, it's just the simple thing of getting outside. Yeah, just the simple thing of getting outside uh, at sunrise barefoot. And it can be a cloudy day, sunny day, it doesn't matter. Just look up into the sky for like 5 minutes. And that right there, you'll have a huge improvement in regulating your body.
일주기 리듬에 관해서 또 얘기를 하면 신발 안 신는 게 최고고 신발 안 신는 게 당신의 뜰에서 풀에서 서 있을 수 있으면 좋고 흙이나 음, 그 땅의 지구의 이 표면은 지구 자체가 엄청 거대한 배터리잖아요. 그래서 이 일주기 리듬이 당신의 몸을 regulate?
관리?
관리, 규제, 뭐 관리한다, 돌린다 라는 걸 알게 될 거예요. 그래서 매일 똑같은 시간에 bowel movement, 똥 싸고, 자고, 더 빨리 잠들고, 그래서 단순히 그냥 밖에 나가는 거가 좋습니다. 그래서 해가 뜰 때 맨발로 밖에 나가는 거 좋아요. 구름 낀 날이든 화창한 날이든 상관없습니다. 하늘을 5분만 바라보세요. 음, 음.
Yeah, even if somebody's in the city, they can find a little area of grass to stand on.
도시에 있는 사람도 맨땅을 찾아서 맨발로 잘 서보세요.
Rishi, what do you? I love Vietnam, by the way. So I want to invite you to Philippines as well. Anytime you want a coconut, I'll go up and get it for you instantly. Like no process of buying, selling, and moving it. No, just we see a tree. You're like, I want one from this tree. I feel something from it. I'll go up it. But
Nice. You can climb it without any rope?
I can, but we do make steps. I can do it without the steps as well. But
Wow. That's
yeah,
incredible. I mean,
yeah.
that
So
takes, you must have a very strong body, like legs, feet, arms, everything.
honestly, it's not that tough with the steps. Without the steps, yes.
Yeah, without the steps.
Yeah. So I don't do that often, but yeah, that does take strength. But the other thing I wanted to ask is, what do you think about durian? Have you ever tried durian?
You know, I've come off fasts before back in the day. I lived in Hawaii for 7 years. So, and the first thing that I've had was durian.
Whoa.
And I mean, not a lot of it, but like the taste. And I've told myself many times that if there's one food I could only have for the rest of my life, it would be durian.
Same.
Yeah.
아,
No, durian that's why it's called the king of the fruit, king of fruits,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
It's it's just incredible. It's so incredible. This friend of mine named Lindsay, she does a blog called Year of the Durian.
I know it.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, she gives durian tours in Malaysia and Thailand, and yeah, it's pretty cool what they're doing.
그 코코넛 먹으러 따줄 테니까 필리핀 오라고 유진이가 초대했고 두리안 좋아하냐고 물어봐서 두리안 하나만 먹을 수 있다면 두리안이면 좋겠다. There's some kind of similarity, I think Eugene and I and Rishi, like maybe kind of tropic loving, durian loving Anastasia-ish barefoot try
Yeah.
climbing guys.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Yeah. I in
Oh.
Hawaii, I was climbing coconut trees. That's why I asked. I was climbing. There's an incredible climber. I should send you a link to, oh my God, it's so cool. This climber that I used to have. Unfortunately, it's a website that sells these tree climbers that are used for hunters to use, and then they sit on them and wait for their prey, whatever they're hunting. But they're very, very cool. I can send you a link to one. I've had a few of them, and they make climbing so easy. And harvesting cocos.
Yeah, I think
when I
I've seen that.
visited this guy, Korean Tarzan, Eugene in Saipan, you know Saipan, Rishi? It's like
Yeah.
yeah. He would climb all the trees, like coconut trees, and like with just 뭐라고 하지? 마쉐타?
Yeah, with the machete. It isn't so ideal
Machete.
because you do have to cut into the tree.
Yeah. Oh, okay, with the machete. Oh, he was using the machete to make little footholds.
Yeah, exactly. So that's I just saw one day some steps on the tree and I was like, hey, I want to try. I want to know how to climb these trees. So in Saipan, I just like spent one day, broke my body, and then figured out how to do it. So now I'm at that stage where I want to start doing more without the machete and trying to climb more with just free climbing.
Yeah. Well, one good material to use is the material they use for seat belts inside a car.
Yeah.
That's a great material that you can wrap it around the tree and then just kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Saipan, what they did long time ago, I think, is they would wrap things around their feet like in like a figure eight,
Uh-huh.
and then it
Right.
would allow them to kind of, like it doesn't let your feet go far,
Uh-huh.
so it just kind of holds you onto the tree. So
Right.
I've seen a guy use that. I've used it before too on a betel nut tree. I never did betel nut, but I've gotten it for other people, and yeah, so that's what they use. So I guess that would make it much easier. But
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that on video, not up close, but yeah, that's cool. There's some other things I can just share real quick about things that I include in my practice, like I nose breathing. Nose breathing. I consider myself a runner, but I don't have a pair of running shoes because I will only run on the beach,
mm-mm.
and I run soft sand to really strengthen my feet.
Mm.
And but yeah, I've always ran. I mean, this is before the nose breathing thing ever was a thing, and people started talking about. I've been running that way for 20 years, and what happened over time is that I'm just always breathing. I'm breathing like 95% out of my nose all day, even when I'm resting, and
Mm.
it's really a more it's it's how we should be breathing more. It's through the nose, not the mouth.
그래서 자기가 하는 practice에 대해서 조금만 얘기를 해보면, nose breathing, 코로 숨 쉬는 거. 저는 저 스스로를 러너라고 보는데요. 달리기를 하는데요. 근데 그 달리기 운동화가 없어서, 없어요. 그 해변에서만 뛰거든요. 그래서 이 소프트한 모래에서 뛰는데 내 발바닥을 발을 강화하기 위해 그런데 이 코로 숨 쉬는 게 요새는 유명한 것 같은데 그 이전부터 저는 많이 해왔었고 달려왔었고 20년 동안 항상 코로만 숨 쉽니다. 95% 하루 종일. 음, 쉴 때도 달릴 때도 코로만 숨 쉽니다. 그 얘기를 하나 하고 싶었고요. So, like, you wanted to share some practices, like, that you do.
One thing in the morning is I do vagus nerve breathing, which is uh, it's so simple. It's nothing special at all. You just basically hum when you exhale, like and you do that, and you can do it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll do it for 30 minutes. But it really, really strengthens the immune system. Look it up regarding vagus nerve breathing. It's really powerful. If you're like, let's say you're driving and there's a lot of traffic, or you're in a stressful situation. The beautiful thing about it is you can do it anywhere, and so you start breathing by putting your lips together and exhaling with your lips together, create a hum sound, and this is like food for your vagus nerve. It's very, very good. And then another thing is breath holds, like breath retention. So
First about vagus nerve, I
yeah,
translate.
yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah.
What is vagus nerve? Like, which part of?
It runs like from your brain all the way down to your like lower chakras, and it's one of the main nerves in the body. Um, and it can get it can get corroded over time.
Ah,
Um, and the stronger it is, and the more you give it attention, which is like this humming exhale. It's like a deep meditation too. It's like you can go really deep with it into meditation. Um, the result is a much stronger immune system. But I mean, I would look at, just look it up. Your viewers can easily look that up, and get all the details in Korean.
제가 아는 또 다른 수행, practice, 수행은 미주신경 호흡, vagus nerve breathing, 미주신경이라고 번역이 나오네요. 뭐 여기 미주신경 소환이 많아.
It's a humming.
그래서 이제 허밍 하듯이 10분, 15분 이제 입술을
Lips together.
물고 like just
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, just like that.
입술을 앙 다물고 이렇게 10분, 15분 하면
그 내쉴 때를 말하는 것 같아. Not when you inhale, when you exhale, right?
Oh, exhale, yes. But you want your lips together, exhale. So you'll be exhaling mostly. The exhale will go into your body and through your nose. Really, really great practice.
So the next thing was
The next thing is some breath retention. Breath holds is really good. What you do is you can do it any time, but it's really probably the best in the morning. And so what you do is you get yourself in a relaxed breathing pattern, just some like 3 deep breaths, deep exhales, deep inhales. Maybe you do three rounds, so 9 altogether of similar length, like same length, inhale and exhale, but a little longer. Get yourself into a relaxed state, and then exhale everything and hold your breath. And you hold your breath as long as you can, and you'll find that in a very short amount of time, like days or a week, that you'll be able to hold your breath for 90 seconds. And this triggers hypoxia, HYPOXIE. And that's it. It's another amazing thing for your immune system. And because because you lose oxygen or you reduce oxygen, and then your body goes into kind of fight or flight survival, and it produces human growth hormones and stem cells naturally by breath retention. You can hold your breath and do 25 sit-ups or 25 push-ups or 20 push-ups or 10 push-ups and hold your breath. So basically what you want to do, and another thing you can do that's going to stimulate the human growth hormone and the stem cells, is doing a sprint. And you run as fast as you can for a short distance. Like I'm thinking US metrics, but 20 yards. I don't know how many kilometers that is. Or it's not even a kilometer. So it's not even
It's
a
about
half
20,
kilometer.
it's about 20 meters, 20 yards.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And you sprint as fast as you can until you feel like, like you're gasping for air and you just want to faint, and you stop then. And that's one of they've done tests like in the laboratory where if you do that, just like you do that for like 20 minutes or 15 minutes 3 times a week, that's more beneficial than running like 100 miles a week. I mean, it's insane, but it's all about your body naturally releasing the human growth hormone and waking up some sleeping stem cells. And it's the what they've discovered about sprinting is just is incredible.
This is the high intensity interval
Well,
training.
there's that too. Yep, yep. It's similar. It's producing the same effect in the body. It's producing the very similar effects in the body. Yeah.
두 가지 또 기법을 얘기했는데 숨 참기. 그래서 숨을 참으면 저산소증 상태가 되어서 이렇게 올라가가지고 내용을 이게 뭐 하나하나 문장 다 번역은 안 할게요. 지금은
근데 중요한 요소가 내쉬고 나서 참으라 그런 것 같아. You hold the breath after the exhale, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. For the breath retention, yeah, you hold the breath after the exhale. I mean, you don't have to get like too extreme with the exhale. There can be a little bit of breath inside you still, but just in a relaxed way, hold your breath after the exhale. Yeah.
그래서 내쉬고 나서 숨을 참는 거 얘기를 했고 그 fight or flight 모드가 되어서 fight or flight 생존 모드라 하나? 한국말로? 그 성장 호르몬이랑 막 그 스템셀 줄기세포 이런 게 활성화된다 얘기하고 그 스프린트도 얘기를 해요.
Human growth hormone.
성장 호르몬. 20분이나 15분 그 일주일에 3번 스프린트 하면 100마일을 일주일에 뛰는 것보다 훨씬 효과적이다 이런 얘기도 하고 이것도 마찬가지로 성장 호르몬 그리고 잠들어 있던 줄기세포를 깨운다 이런 얘기도 해주네요. Brother, maybe the last thing. So we will arrange you coming to Korea for the festival. We will maybe talk about it when you're here, but maybe we will find some kind of not too cold place to do another round of festival, or maybe to kind of Anastasia-ish settlement.
Okay.
So
yeah,
maybe
you know,
could
I got as close as anyone can get to the original Anastasia's where she lived. I mentioned that to you. That was my only reason for going to Russia, was to see how close I could get to where she existed. And yeah, it was quite, I'll share that story sometime. But yeah, at the festival too, we can have groups and do some of these things, like the sprints or the breath holds as a group.
awesome.
So everyone can really feel that, that the quality of breath equals quality of life. And there's these techniques. They're like kind of longevity, biohacking, different techniques you can do for the body that are really, like, I'm sharing these with you. I would only share like the very best options that don't take a lot of time and that don't require going to a gym, because I'm all about using my body weight and calisthenics than I am going to a gym. I'm not really a gym person. But yeah, so there's different, we could see if any of the participants want to try some of these activities, because to really remember them, you have to experience them and try them for yourself, even if it's just one time, But yeah, in closing, I just want to say that just really everyone, I say this to myself, I remind myself, it's just a reminder to really practice being, being grateful for the little things. Being grateful, eat less, don't waste too much energy on digesting, Remember, we're 99.999% empty space. We're like an atom. Everything's made from atoms. So, yeah. And then just enjoy the journey and realize too that we're eternal consciousness. And so there's no rush with being a breatharian, or there's many, many, many ways you can do it. Eat every 3 days, just have fun with experimenting, enjoy the journey. But gratefulness, because the more things we're grateful for, your higher self sends you more things to be grateful about.
작은 것들에 감사하고 적게 먹고 소화에 너무 많은 에너지를 쓰지 마세요. 우리가 99.999% 공이니까, 비어있는 공간이니까, 원자처럼. 그래서 우리가 eternal, 영생의 존재라는 걸 깨닫고 서두르지 말고, 뭐 이런 빗살이 할 수 있는 방법이 되게 많으니까 3일에 한 번씩 먹거나, 그래서 즐겁게 여러 실험도 해보고 그 길을 감사하고 즐겁게 걸어보세요. 우리가 작은 것들에 감사할수록 우리 상위자가 감사할 일들을 더 많이 보내준답니다. So Rishi, I'm actually exploring this village, and there's like a nearby beaches here. Not nearby. 30 minutes of driving might be
Not too bad.
Yeah, but so it's not very like there's not many people over there. So you mentioned walking, running on the beach barefoot. So
Yeah.
we could go to the beach.
Yeah.
I think it's 뭐 혜성님, 수아님, 토마토 얘기하고 싶은 거 없으면 요 정도에서 마무리하면 좋을 것 같고요. 축제 준비할 게 너무 많아서 저도 준비하러 가보고. Yeah, unless anyone wants to speak, I said it's kind of a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah, for me, just again, the reminder, Rishi, please, I will be in Korea as well, but please come check out this Philippines community, because the end goal is fruitarianism and breatharianism. And then the founder of this community basically like said that people like us would like come here and use this as a nexus. So there's like a little bit of prophecy behind the whole, we should all make a higher consciousness community here, that kind of thing.
Interesting. Did this person, a Filipino person, did he also discover some kind of dance or movement? If not, then it could be someone else I'm thinking of.
No, I'm not sure.
But I'm wanting to begin maybe in the future. Compete with freediving, and there's a freediving center over there in the Philippines I've been wanting to go to, because I'm really interested in breath holds, holding breath for a long time, and doing the freediving. Is it actually a freediving academy over there?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really like, maybe from Korea I just go there or something.
Wonderful idea.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
So thank you in Korean is 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Okay. Thank you for your presence, brother, and we'll keep in touch. When are you going back to the States?
Actually, I'm probably, I don't know what time it is, but I probably got to catch a train like in the next 2 hours to the airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy your time with your family, and okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Dongyu. It's been a delight for me to be with you and your Korean extended family.
See you, brother. Enjoy your trip.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.